Hey everyone, Geeky here. And welcome back to The Longest Journey. We had the joy of meeting Zach last time, and we read a lot of diary entries. And there's probably other important things, but I mean, let's be honest. We all want to scrub Zach from our memory, but unfortunately he's still there. Alright, let's look at this free access terminal.
It's a fact, as in F-A-C-T, free access terminal. It's a fact, as computer.
Voice interface is not installed. Please use the touchscreen interface to communicate with this free access terminal.
Oh, okay.
Why not consider a very reasonable upgrade? In addition to a voice interface, true holo display technology and Instacredit compatibility.
No, I'll just use my hands, thanks.
You are missing out on a great opportunity. If you upgrade now...
Hold on. You understood that. You have a voice interface installed already. Why would I pay to have another one installed?
Current voice interface is for sales purposes only. If you take advantage of this very affordable upgrade today...
No, really. This terminal doesn't belong to me.
Noted. Please refrain from voice communication in the future, or you will be reported to the FACT FUB and charged for processing time.
FUB?
Fair Use Bureau. They are authorized to carry deadly arms.
Well, whatever. Sorry.
It's actually a little scary how well this game saw the future and the way technology would work.
It's a fact. No, I don't think I'd appreciate the FUB barging in on me right now.
Just double checking that there's nothing in here that I've somehow missed in the 20 other playthroughs I've done.
It's a chair. It's a chair. We have a nice view of the bridges from this window. Venice.
I like the love in her voice when she says that. Venice.
More fans. Proper air conditioning was apparently never a viable alternative for the contractor.
This is what it's like in Chicago, by the way. Not a lot of air conditioning.
More fans. Proper air...
At least not in homes.
Shelves. Shelves.
I think this is the same shelf.
Shelves.
Yeah.
Be considerate. Keep the volume down after 11 p.m. Fiona. Be considerate. Common room duty roster, July 27th. April and Emma. Oh joy, manual labor, my favorite.
Wait. That was yesterday. You need to calm your butt. Or are you talking about how much fun it was yesterday?
Common room duty roster, July... San Francisco. I'd love to go there someday. Someday soon, hopefully. Look, it's Monkey Boy! San Francisco. Look! Pizza and movie night, Monday, July 31st. BYOS. BYO what? Soap? Annual summer blowout at the Fringe Cafe, Friday, August 4th, 8 p.m. Free food. Live performances by Roy Dale. Harlequin Masquerade. The Go-Getters. Tickets available at the bar. $10 only. Spread the word. Annual summer blowout at the Fringe Cafe, Friday, August 4th. I'm sorry, but big sweaty jocks do not turn me on. I'll take a nerd any day.
Me too, April. Me too.
I'm sorry.
Your husband is such a nerd.
I can't tell what that note's saying as long as it's up there. Fiona's handwriting is not particularly legible. I can't tell what...
I imagined I'd picked it up and was going to go read it.
It's a pushpin. It's a push... Found. A gold ring under the common room sofa. If it's yours, let me know. But no false claims, please. Fiona. I did lose a gold ring a few weeks ago. I hope this is the one. I'll have to ask Fiona about it. Found. The omnipresent screen. I don't pretend to know how it works, but all the data apparently passes through tiny little black holes in the fabric of our dimension. You know, that really freaks me out when I think about it. It's our screen.
Well, you don't think about it. Now, there's actually a little, a very small, Easter egg here. I'm not going to bother doing it because I don't think it really adds much, but there's like this teeny tiny dot you can click somewhere around here. See, I don't even know where it is for sure, so I'm not even going to bother trying to find it. I've clicked it once before, where you can watch a very old trailer of the game, but if I remember correctly, it's really hard to see because it's on like the tiny screen, so I'm not going to bother taking the time to attempt to try to find it. You guys can Google it if you really want to.
Emma picked this table up at a flea market for $10 last month. That's $9 more than it's worth. It's supposed to be a coffee table. It's a matchbook. It's a
But are you sure it's a matchbook? Let's pick it up and, like the pack rat we are, just to make sure.
It's a matchbook from the Fringe Cafe. It's a It's a chair. They really knew how to design tacky furniture back in the late 22nd century. That's Fiona, my landlady. She's all right. It's Fiona. Morning, Fiona.
Good morning, darling. You're up early.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep.
Are you feeling all right? You look a little pale.
I had a bad nightmare.
Again? Well, you're not the only one, darling. Mickey woke me up screaming in the middle of the night. She wouldn't go back to sleep until I made her a cup of herbal tea.
Nightmares?
Apparently. But she refuses to tell me what they were. I think she's embarrassed.
That doesn't sound like Mickey.
I know, darling. Don't tell her I said so. But I've never seen her so agitated in my life. She scared the hell out of me.
I don't know why I have nightmares. I guess they could be stress-related. After all, the exhibition's right around the corner.
Oh, yes. The school exhibition. How's that going?
God, don't ask. I have no idea how I'm going to finish my painting on time. I haven't felt inspired in ages.
I think you work too hard, darling. You need to relax once in a while. Live. Enjoy your youth. There's inspiration to be found in hedonism, you know.
No, I don't know, but apparently you do.
I'm an authority on the subject, darling. Ask Mickey. She'll tell you I don't lift a finger around the place unless I absolutely have to.
Oh, I love Fiona. She's just amazing. There's gonna be a lot of dialogue, so prepare for your... If you've never played an adventure game before, prepare for your first experience of adventure game dialogue trees.
Where's everybody this morning?
Mickey's tied up in the basement. Mind you, she's not literally tied up, of course, although that is a tempting thought.
Are you getting into your sexual fantasies here, Fiona? Because it's a little too early in the morning for that, don't you think?
Sorry, I just can't help myself. Anyway, the plumbing is... You probably noticed when you took a shower, yeah? There's no hot water. So Mickey's working on that. Getting knee-deep in putrid canal water is her job, thank God.
What about Charlie? He up yet?
No, he's still sleeping, and Emma just went to bed. I saw her come in when I was making breakfast. Do you know who she's seeing now?
I don't know. Some guy?
Those lads I see her with, darling. She's too good for those arseholes. I wish she'd find herself a man who'd treat her right for once.
She hasn't had much luck with love, no?
She's a magnet for creeps, and she's so pretty. They prey on her, you know, bastards.
I've tried to talk to her about it, but Emma's impulsive. She doesn't listen.
She's just as headstrong as you and me, darling, but I'm sure she'll be all right. She's smart and resourceful, and not afraid to speak up for herself.
I also love Emma. Emma and Fiona are amazing.
Shouldn't you be outside enjoying the good weather?
You joking? Bollocks to that. I'll stay inside until September, thank you very much. It's too bloody hot.
I understand that, Fiona, except my reason is less it's too hot and more, what's outside that I can't get inside? I'm super homebody in a lot of ways. Like, I like going out and doing stuff, like, every once in a while, like on the weekends, but in general, I'm very happy at home.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Why, certainly, darling. About what?
Tell me about Emma. I want to know all about her.
Tell me about Emma.
Emma? Why, she's your best friend, darling. I don't know what to tell you that you don't already know. You girls are so close.
That's true. The day we met, we clicked instantly. It was strange, but cool.
Like me and Mickey, then? Except for the sex, of course.
That's a pretty big except for, Fiona.
Oh, I guess so. She's the crazy one, Emma is. Not crazy as in mad as a hatter, but crazy in a good way. Fun to be around.
Emma's always been a little weird.
Exactly, darling. She's a flirt, too, and the boys seem to drop like flies at her feet. No wonder. She's a real looker, I don't have to tell you. I'm sure she could have been a model if she'd wanted, but she's an artist, and a good one, too. I really think she'll be a successful artist. Her sculptures are getting a lot of attention.
Anything else you can tell me about Emma?
She ought to be a little more careful sometimes. She's a flirt, and although she doesn't mean any harm, some lads don't take too well to being teased and rejected. You should tell her that, though, being her best friend and all.
I have told her. She won't listen.
No. She does worry me a little, but she's a big girl and she can take care of herself. I'm certainly happy to have her living here. Next to you and Charlie, she's my favourite tenant.
This is one unfortunate side effect of the adventure game genre, which is that there tends to be a lot of clunky, I would say, dialogue, simply because it's the nature of the game, and it's how you get, like, a lot of background on characters and various other things. There's lots of, like, I mean, who actually goes up and is like, what do you think about this person that you and I both know really well, and I'm just randomly asking you about it? Like, unless you were worried for that person, you probably wouldn't actually say, what do you think about them? But, I mean, hey, I mean, it works. You get, you know, we're getting some background information. It's just, it's a little but I will say this. It's clunky, but I've been in games where it's very obnoxious. It's not obnoxious in this game, and I have to give them credit because the reason it's not obnoxious is because these characters are given so much personality, and these voice actors are just so superb that I don't mind personally sitting here and listening to all of this dialogue exposition. I actually really like it. It's soothing to me. But, I mean, that's my own personal opinion. It might drive other people crazy, but as I've stated before, adventure games is a very particular genre, and it's not for everyone.
What did you think of me when we first met?
That's a peculiar question, isn't it? I thought you were quite lovely. I still do, darling.
Do you remember the day I arrived?
Of course, darling. It wasn't that long ago, and I'm not senile quite yet. It was in May, wasn't it? Charlie referred you to me, and you were quite at a loss. First day in the city, wasn't it? I remember. You looked like a lost puppy.
Puppy? Me?
When I saw you lugging that suitcase across the bridge, my heart went out to you. I'm glad you came here. You could have been lost anywhere else.
I adore Fiona. I adore Fiona. I adore how much she loves April. I love Fiona.
How long have you known Charlie?
Oh, he's one of our oldest tenants. It's close to 3 years, I believe, since he moved in. Charlie is always in a good mood, and he's such a gentleman.
I agree. He's an actual, genuine gentleman.
And you don't see a lot of gentlemen these days, trust me. You have a very good friend in him, darling. Perhaps even more than a friend.
What do you mean, more than a friend?
Not for me to say, darling. If you don't realize it yet, you will.
What is up with Zach Lee, and can we kick him in the balls?
What's up with Zach Lee?
Zach? I think we both feel the same way about him, darling. He's not actually a bastard. If he was, I'd have had him out of here in an instant. But he is an arse, and a stuck-up, pompous, arrogant wanker.
My thoughts exactly. Aside from that wanker bit.
Still, he pays his rent on time, and he doesn't make a lot of noise. He keeps to himself. And most importantly, he's shit scared of me, so I can't just kick him out.
Let's be honest, our goal, every woman's goal in life is to have someone like Zach Lee be shit scared of them. That would, I mean, we all want to be Fiona, let's just be honest.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Fiona.
Me? Why? There's not much to say, darling. I love my job, I love Venice, and I love being with Mickey. I'm a happy girl. Sure, sometimes I wish I could go back to England to see my family, but that's water under the bridge, so to speak. I'm very happy with myself and my life here in Newport.
How long have you and Mickey been together?
Mickey and I have been together since I was 19. She was in her late 30s then. The older, wiser, worldly woman. I found her sweet and charming and intriguing. When I finally realized she was neither of those things, it was too late. I was in love. She stole me away from my dreary British inner-city life, and she brought me here. She was no knight in shining armor, that's for sure, but she knew how to treat me like a woman.
You guys make a great couple.
You think so, darling? Yes, I guess we do. And the sex is amazing.
You never get tired of talking about your sex life, do you?
Never. And if I ever do, please shoot me.
Aw, Fiona, you guys are so cute.
Can you tell me something about the border house?
That's one of my favorite topics, darling. What precisely do you want to know?
What made you decide to run a boarding house?
That's a long story. One of the reasons Mickey and I got together was that we shared a passion for the classic English country inns. You know, quaint, weathered buildings, funny old ladies, and oddly suggestive names like the Lazy Cock.
So why come here to the big city? To America?
We wanted to create a place with a similar atmosphere and hospitality here in Newport. Like a safe house for people like you and I to call home, if only for a short while. So we discussed different options for a few months, and then we decided we wanted to start a boarding house for young, penniless students and artists.
You decided you wanted to do that here in Venice?
We knew that Venice was the place for us long before we came here, but the hard part was finding a building cheap enough.
And this building was available?
Not at first. Like most of the buildings in Venice, this one used to be a factory, but when we first looked at it, a local company was planning to turn it into a bar and nightclub. It was so perfect for our purposes, though, that we appealed to the Venice Borough Council, and after outlining our plans, they gave us the go-ahead at a reduced price, provided we kept our promises regarding our tenants.
Okay, but I just want you to imagine for a moment a young, overly confident, overly noisy, overly, what's the word I'm looking for here? Overly willing to speak her mind, Fiona, and this older woman, Mickey, coming together because of their love of old inns. Like, I just, it's adorable. Like, just the idea of a 19-year-old and 35-ish year old, like, cooing over inns together. It's just adorable and ridiculous, and I love it.
What inspired the name Border House?
That came quite naturally when we saw the place. It's on the border between two worlds, isn't it? Between Venice and the city itself. And at the same time, I also believe we're on the border between two more abstract worlds. Between art and spirit on the one hand, and science and technology on the other.
That's very poetic, Fiona.
Yes, I've practiced. I may be an inner city girl, but I can philosophize and bullshit with the best of them.
The real question is, Fiona, are you wearing pants or are you wearing a dress? That's what we all really want to know.
Do you and Mickey own the place together?
We own it together, yes, and we've shared the responsibilities between us. Mickey takes care of the maintenance of the building, and I busy myself with the administrative tasks. I also take care of the day-to-day management of our tenants, like deciding whether or not to let someone rent a room. And, of course, the unpleasant business of booting someone out.
I thought you enjoyed that part.
Yes, all right. In some cases I do, but not always. It can get quite messy.
Thanks for the information.
I'm glad I could help you out, darling.
What can you tell me about Venice?
I don't really know much about the history of Venice. You should really ask someone with an interest in local affairs. What I do know is that this whole neighborhood used to be an industrial area, and that about 100 years ago they converted most of the buildings into residences for students and the homeless. And it's a nice place to live, certainly. Friendly people, liberal attitudes, great clothing stores, quite perfect, aside from that dreadful stench from the canals in the summertime.
What's the story behind my apartment?
Your apartment? It's more a room than anything else. Not much more than a large closet, really.
It's not that small.
It's one of our smallest rooms, but it's cheap and it's on a nice floor. I hope you're happy there.
I like it. It's convenient, and it's got an interesting view.
That's nice to hear, darling. As for the story behind it, no unexplained deaths or hidden pirate treasures, I'm afraid. Just a long string of students on a tight budget.
Do you like Newport?
The city? I stay in Venice most of the time. It's easy to forget we're just a tiny little pocket in the middle of a sprawling urban wasteland. But do I like it? I think Newport is one of the great cities of our age. Love it or hate it, you can't argue with that.
And which one is it? Love or hate?
I haven't decided yet, darling. Ask me again in another 15 years. Perhaps I'll have an answer then.
I don't have any more questions right now.
Don't hesitate asking if there's something else you want to know.
I'd better get going.
Off to school?
Yeah, there are no more classes this semester, but I have to finish my painting by next Thursday.
For what it's worth, darling, good luck. And don't work too hard, all right?
Fiona trying to make overly stressed out students chill the fuck out. Like, I just want to see that particular scene because I imagine it would be hilarious.
I saw this note on the corkboard. I think the ring might belong to me.
I'm sorry I have to ask, but could you describe the ring?
Sure thing. It says Sweet 16. My dad gave it to me. I think it was the only birthday of mine he remembered, or at least acknowledged.
Yes, that's the one. I found it under the sofa when I was vacuuming. Here you are, darling.
Thanks. It's not worth much, it's got a certain sentimental value for me.
It's a very pretty ring.
Yeah, it is. My dad never gave me anything pretty before or since. He must have won a poker game or something that day. You know what's strange? I don't hate him. He's a bastard and he treated me like crap almost every single day of my life. But I don't hate him. I feel sorry for him.
Why?
Because he doesn't know how to love. He can't love anybody or anything. And because he'll be miserable every second of every minute of every day until the day he dies. God, I'm glad that life is behind me. I hope I never have to see him again. No, that doesn't sound right. I've made a choice not to see him again. Ever.
I love April so much. I love that. I love how much she's fooling herself, because she can sit there and say all she wants. Well, I don't hate him. I just feel sorry for him. But you can tell in that entire speech if he's going to die lonely and unloved, that yeah, she hates him. Which I totally get behind hating people who deserve to be hated. Don't get me wrong, but I like the fact that The Longest Journey is not afraid to show you right up front that April Ryan is a girl who lies to herself. She's a woman who, and it's not even a lie, I think she even realizes. I'm sure she tells herself over and over again, oh, well, I do feel sorry for him, and she's maybe even convinced herself of it. But I honestly don't think that she does feel sorry for him. I mean, except I think she does feel a little bit sorry for him, but I think mostly she just really, really hates him. And I don't know, I just really love anything that's willing to sit there and say, this character isn't perfect in a lot of different ways, and that includes the fact that, you know, she's not going to sit there and she'll fool herself. She'll trick herself into believing things because she wants to pretend she's a good person, which is kind of hilarious because April's super not a good person. Please don't, I say that with all the love in the world, but she's a realistic person is what she is. She's a very much a human being. She's flawed and she has issues. And okay, I'm not supposed to be doing a ton of meta here, but I just love her, and I love that entire scene, and I love how much it shows about her and it shows about her past, and just a gorgeous little bit of dialogue right there. Okay, Emma, we're gonna look at the ring, and then we're past time, so I'm going to quit. And I think we're wrapped up in this room anyway, so that's perfect time to end it anyways.
Dad gave me this gold ring on my 16th birthday.
All right, and that's where we're gonna end this. So I hope you guys all enjoyed yourselves. I hope you. I'm trying not to do like a ton of meta, especially because it's meta. Was I saying meta earlier? I feel like I was. Anyway, I'm trying not to do a ton of meta because I'm scared I'm gonna accidentally fling myself into spoilery territory. But it's probably gonna happen because I love it and I think about this game way too much. I'll do my best to keep it to a minimum, and I will definitely make sure it's not spoilery. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I had a lot of fun, and next time we come back, we will get out of the house. Ooh. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye.